there was a tweet that I had made that Summer Madness 13, due to the climate, obviously, of what's going on with battle rap, how terrible, battle rap has been, at least in the first half of the year. I said it was the corniest year I've ever seen when it comes to people caring about the bullshit, when it comes to not that many high quality battles coming out of, leagues, with the issues that URL had with multiple battlers and fans trying to hate on them and all this shit. I feel like Summer Madness right now is like now or never. Every single year, Summer Madness is the most important battle card of the year, every single time, every single year. And now, more than ever, this is very important, right? This is very important, obviously. So at first, when I had said this, there was a couple people that were a little confused. I felt like Shotgun Suge was confused. I don't know if he really knew what I was saying, and maybe I could have worded it differently, but I felt like what I had said made perfect sense. And even in a nutshell, if you took it for what it was worth at face value, what I said was Summer Madness is important. Guys, I don't know, maybe somebody in the chat, correct me if Summer Madness lost its importance. Correct me if Summer Madness tanking doesn't do anything for the culture and doesn't affect anybody in a negative light. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I think, yes, Summer Madness is pretty damn important. So I felt like there was a little confusion, right? People didn't understand what I was saying, even though I felt like it was pretty common sense shit. And, there was one person, I don't know who it was. I think his name is Mo. He's on Twitter. He said, is there something that you know that we don't? Now I, as a grown man, are fully capable. I'm fully equipped to answer questions that people ask me, right? I don't need anybody jumping into my Twitter, answering questions for me, especially questions that I feel like don't even really have to do with me, right? I'm kind of just correcting the confusion on this guy's part. And Nunu Nellz, the URL princess, shout out to Nunu Nellz, the URL princess, quotes my tweet and says something along the lines of, no, nobody's spoken to Mike. He doesn't know anything that's happening next. Okay. I jokingly respond and I go, thank God you cleared that up, because nobody was going there. Nobody was going there at all. When I had tweeted that out, that's not what it meant at all. I just said Summer Madness is important, right? She goes, no, nobody over here said he doesn't know anything about what's next. First of all, I know a lot about cards that URL has. I know a shitload. I know other battles that are booked. I know other events that are coming up. I know the names of those events. Okay, so if I can correct her, because I know she said that she's not going to allow a white person to disrespect her. Nobody's disrespecting her, okay? Nobody asked her to talk to me in the first place. But if I can correct Nunu one time, I actually do know a lot about future cards and matchups and everything. I rapped for the URL for about 8 years, so I have connections. So I was a little confused by that, but I didn't really I didn't care, because I feel like, I see that Nunu does that, and it's weird. It's funny when you see how people act. When you're on their good side, and then when they feel like you're not, it's crazy to kind of see that like performed on you. So it was interesting. It was interesting, but it was nothing that like pissed me off or bothered me at all, because it was just, it was just stupid, silly goose stuff. Nunu's being a silly goose. All right. And then I get some weak man, some weirdo on Twitter, and he comments under what Nunu said, and he goes, Mike P's mad because he's outside the club and can't get in. Okay. Which I wouldn't have responded to, because, who is that guy? But Nunu says under his comment, fact. I'm yet to talk to ARP, and I'm going to talk to ARP. There's a part of me that kind of wants to find out if he's going to be at the Philly event. If he is, I think I'm going to talk to him in person. I'd rather speak to him in person. But if not, if I find out that he's not, I will certainly speak to him on the phone. But there's a part of me that when I see Nunu say all of this, I think about ARP. And I think about the situation where I don't know anything about the conflict, right, between URL and ARP. But for no reason at all, I blindly come to the defense of whatever side that I feel like I'm on, and I shade a person that I've never had a conversation with in my life. Never shook his hand, never had a conversation with ARP, but because I am on this side and I heard you're talking about that side, I'm going to open my mouth and I'm going to say something. I'm just going to regurgitate shade, and I'm going to regurgitate disrespect for the sheer fact that there's people on my side that might not like you or might not fuck with you. And that's the first thing I thought when I see Nunu claiming that I hate on URL from the outside. So I corrected you once. Let's correct Nunu Nellz one more time, okay? Without disrespect. You know, we're not disrespectful here. We try not to be. You know what I'm saying? I usually am out of a lot of people's bullshit. I usually don't hate on people. I'm not a hateful person. I usually don't say things that garner cornball bozo shit or hating. But let's correct her, okay? First of all, the notion that I am outside of URL. First of all, nobody kicked me out of URL. I don't know if you guys heard the blog. I don't know if you guys just go off of face value shit like Nunu Nellz and other people. You just hear that there's a problem, and then you pick whoever you fuck with, and then you shade the other person involved with no information whatsoever. So for the people that aren't aware of the blog that I had put out, let me put my situation with URL in a nutshell. About a month ago, after URL postponed the Jackboy battle, about a month and a half ago, pointed out that over the last couple years, URL has not booked me properly. Whether it be completely ignoring me, whether it be not rewarding me at all, or whether it be throwing me battles that I do not want and I do not appreciate. Right? I called them out on something that was real. Didn't say fuck URL, didn't say fuck Beasley, didn't say smacks a bitch, didn't say Chico to lick my nuts, said nothing shitty or hateful about URL other than the truth when it comes to me. And the truth is that over the last couple years, there has been no attempt to move the Mike P needle. When there is a battle booked, it is to benefit that other guy. And when I come out on top over that person, there's nothing done on their end. I realized that, publicly stated I realized that, and told everyone from now on, I'm going to be booking whatever I want to book. Okay? That's it. Right? Did not disrespect them, did not say anything fucked up, spoke my piece, said I'm waiting for them to reschedule the Jackboy battle. I'm sitting here with a few thousand in my pocket from the front end for a Jackboy battle, waiting on a call for them to reschedule it, right? I've been promoting their cards. I've been speaking well on them. I've told people to maybe think twice about hating on them for no reason, because you really don't know the stories behind certain people and who's right and who's wrong and all that shit. Everything but disrespect. Everything but disrespect. Right? Everything but. So that's the second correction. Nobody's outside of URL, nor are they hating. So that's three, actually. 3 corrections in total. right? You know, I also love how she went on Twitter about maybe 45 minutes ago and said that it'll be a cold day in hell the day she lets a white person disrespect her. Lady, I didn't even ask you to talk to me. No one asked you to jump into my tweets. Keep your Nicki Minaj gifts to yourself and mute me. Mute me, block me, don't talk to me, but definitely don't lie on my name. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you think you are. Don't lie on my name. That's pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Don't disrespect me for no reason at all. Do not lie on my name. There's no reason to. Is your boy I mean, you guys watch, chat. You guys see me all the time. I stream for hours and hours, 3 to 5 days a week. What do I hate on URL? Since I've left, have I hated on URL? And not even left. Like I never even left. I started booking my own shit. Hey guys, if you ever want to wonder if I was right about making that decision, when you understand that I was right is when you realize that in September, the month of September for 2023, if I had listened to URL, if I had sat here and waited on a fuck-ass URL phone call, do you realize that it is a fact that I would have been on final exam on September and not double booked with 2 giant pay-per-views? The next time you question what moves Mike P makes and whether I made the right move in publicly saying, hey, URL don't give a fuck, so until they do, and from now on, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want. You could call me, you could reschedule the Jackboy battle, I'll reschedule the Jackboy battle. If you ever want me on anything else again, it's got to be pay-per-view, it's got to be a good amount of money, it's got to be worth it, right? You know, guys don't care to move the Mike P needle, so I'm going to move it. I'm going to move it myself. It is a fact that I would not be on Blackout 8, a gigantic card, returning to a stage I've been waiting to be back on for like 6+ years. Wouldn't be battling Rosenberg on another pay-per-view card. I would have battled a fucking double no-name. Not a Hansel, not a Gretel, not a Ease, not a Foots, not any of those guys. URL wanted me against the guys that you don't even know the names of yet. You don't even know the names. It's almost September. Has URL announced the name, the new 6? Those are the guys that I was supposed to battle. Had I waited, had I sat here on the #1 league in the world and waited for their call, I'd have been on bullshit. I'd have been on bullshit. I'd have been on a garbage card. I could have bodied I could have bodied whoever they put me up against, wouldn't have benefited me at all. And if I 2-1'd them, it would have been a loss. If I had debated with a no-name, it would have been a loss. And if I had lost, holy shit. Would never happen, but you know what I'm saying? Check your fucking self at the door when you talk about me. Check yourself at the door. Who are you? I don't know who you are. But it's like, I can't even really, I did the same thing with ARP. I guess this is what it feels like, right? I guess this is what it feels like when a random person just decides to be a bozo and shove their face in the middle of something that they know nothing about. You ain't got nothing. You have nothing. Nunu knows nothing. And this is another thing. Let me touch on another thing. A lot of people say that Nunu Nellz makes URL look bad, right? I see a lot of people that say, you know, for Nunu Nellz to represent URL, sometimes she says a lot of shit that's not right. She says a lot of controversial shit. She says a lot of things when she commentates on URL. She says tweets that she shouldn't have said. Everybody usually has like a lot to say, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to her. But let me correct, I don't look at her as a URL rep. I've been on URL for 8 years. I never had a phone. I never had to go through itinerary. I ain't never got an email from Nunu. Nunu's never put money in my pockets from the tens and thousands and tens and tens and tens and thousands of dollars. When I inked the 3-year, 6-figure deal with Caffeine, Nunu's name wasn't on it. I never got a phone call from Nunu Nellz. I never got, she never booked a match for me. She never booked my hotels, my flights, never told me what time the face-off is. So I don't look at her as a representative of the URL. No disrespect. So I'm actually gonna defend her. Let me come to her defense. Nunu Nellz doesn't make URL look bad. I don't look at Nunu Nellz as URL. I'm usually the one that comes to her defense. I always thought she gets hated on for no reason. I actually used to. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's funny when it's on the other side of you, right? Like, Nunu knows nothing. Base level knowledge has to know absolutely nothing between what happened with me and URL. Have to. Because if you watched me explain what happened between me and URL, there's no hate. There's no hate, there's no nothing. I clicked my fucking camera on and I said, hey guys, guess what? I came to the realization URL doesn't fucking care about me anymore. So you know what? I'm gonna battle on my own. That's that entire blog. That's the entire blog. Didn't get up there and say anything bad. Didn't say anything bad, just told the truth. Just told the truth. Right? So Nunu couldn't have saw the blog, right? Nunu couldn't possibly watch me stream. Because every time I stream, I'm talking about URL in a positive manner. Da-da? How many people in this chat see me talking good about URL? Since what I said about them, how many people? How many people? There is nothing. There's nothing. Because I don't do that. I don't go around talking shit about the URL. Never have. Never have. As a matter of fact, they haven't said anything to me. They haven't said anything to me since that blog. I literally got thousands of dollars from the front end. And they're so mad. But that's what I'm saying. Like, they're mad too. They're mad at me. Can you imagine being mad at me for pointing out that you don't care about me? Can you imagine? Can you imagine? That's URL though. That's what they do, man. They're petty, bro. They're gonna hold a grudge. They're gonna hold a grudge, dude. I ain't do shit. I pointed out that you ain't doing shit. I pointed out that y'all aren't doing shit with me, so ta-ta. Ta-ta. I'm going to go do my own thing. And what's the first fucking 2 things I do? Lock in mega pay-per-view cards. When I would have been on final exam. Just so remember that. Remember that. The next time you're like, oh, I wonder if Mike P. I would have literally been battling on final fucking exam this month. Then you're gonna go on Twitter and try to preface my blog before I go live. You just want to let people know, hey, he's white, so don't let him say anything. Don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me. And I won't check you at the door. You didn't violate, so I'm not gonna violate. You violate, I violate. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. You don't say shit to me and then tell me not to say some shit to you. It's not how this flies. It's not how this works. Not how this works. Not how it works at all.